Hey gamers, today we're going to review the game X-Men Alert. Let's check it out. Alright, so in this game you're going to play one of these lovely X-Men from the early 90s. Archangel, Banshee, Beast, Cable, Colossus, Cyclops, Gambit, Havoc, Iceman, Jubilee, Longshot, Nightcrawler, Professor X, Psylocke, Rogue, Shadowcat, Storm, and Wolverine. They have corresponding hero cards that you will use to play these characters. And they each have their own stats, and I'll talk about those in a minute. What you can do, they said you can shuffle these up and give one randomly to each player, or if all the players can come to a consensus, they can pick one. So I'm going to pick my favorite X-Men, Gambit. That's who we're going to be. Hello, y'all. All right, so anyway, this is the board here. These are the marker pieces where you're trying to go around the entire board and get to victory right here. You do have training and luck cards, which can be good or bad depending on the situation. How you get them is you have to land on one of these training and luck circles during the game. If you do, you get to draw one. Like I said, good or bad. They have these little slides that you can put, and you can put your little hero through there. As long as you remember who you are, we don't really use the slides here. And then, of course, you got your villains over here. And your villains are going to go into these three battle zones where you're going to be fighting it out. So how it would start is, let's say I am Gambit here. I got to look and see what I got. Well, my fighting skill is 5. That means I get to roll 5 of these die. Now, that's really cool. These die can represent different things. In fact, X-Men, that's 1 hit. If I roll Marvel, it's 2 hits. Any blanks, that's nothing. And if I roll an evil mutant, oh no, the evil mutant's going to hit me. And whenever they hit me in a battle, I take one of these little hit cards and I place it on my card. Now, once all 3 are filled up, my guy will be injured. That's his durability is 3 X spots. Now, what if I already have 2 hits and I roll like 3 evil mutants? Well, then I am seriously injured, and any extra hit points go on my card, and I am out of the game, and I'll talk about how to heal them later. First off, if I ever get to recruit a X-Men, if I ever get a chance to do that, I can roll 2 die, and of course I don't want to get an evil mutant. I want to get a Marvel or X-Men, so I can call on the X-Men and see if I can recruit some X-Men from the player deck here, which will be face down now, so I don't even know who I'm recruiting. And then you have total power, which does matter during the recruiting stage. Now, any of these characters also have special abilities on each one of their cards. So you can read the special ability. It kind of, does a little rule break and whatnot. But like I said, look at the tons of X-Men you can choose from this game. And the figures, pretty nice. Cheap, light plastic, but actually look really good. So anyway, as the game starts, everyone picks who's going to be their leader. Then you're going to put out the 3 battles here. And you're going to randomly select these cards here. So the first one is the Blob. All right, now look. The Blob is a 10 on strength. So his strength indicator would go right here. He's a 10. So I've got to get to 10, or actually I would be right here. I've got to get to 10 to beat the Blob. And as I'm doing battle rolling die, Marvel will give me 2 spots to move up. If I roll an X-Men, that would give me 1, and so on and so forth. So you got to keep battling them until you finally defeat them. Once you defeat a villain, it says this one has 3 experience points. That means I will move. Let's say I was the yellow team. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 on the board. And you see that, and you're trying to get to the end. Now, there are other bad guys in the game. Here's, oh, look, Magneto. All right. He's a 7 if I get him. And here's Pyro. He's a 3. Now, the thing is, there are other strategies here than just going after the biggest guy to get the longest route there. Because remember, what if it was let's say it was a 3 and I was right here. Well, I would probably want to take on the Blob or Pyro, because then I could try to get some training and luck cards and kind of press my luck and see if I can get something good out of here. So you may do better helping yourself by getting one of the smaller guys and getting him. Or, maybe I'm 3 away and I need to get that recruit X-Men. If you land on a recruit X-Men, you automatically get to choose one of these X-Men to recruit and bring into the game, and they're on your team to help. You can only have up to 4 X-Men on your team. After that, you can't get them. Now, what if when you defeat someone, the beginning of someone else's turn, they'll take the top card from the deck and they'll play it. And it could be recruit another X-Men card. So what does that mean? What you're going to do is you're going to pick the top card from the deck and I'm going to pick Professor X out here. So I look at Professor X's total power. And so looking at his total power, he is a 10. So I'm going to put him on the 10 spot. So now what we're trying to do, and what other players may be trying to do, is recruit Professor X to play on their team. And so they're all rolling their die trying to be the last one to get up there. And whoever gets up there first gets to recruit him, and he comes on your team, and you're going to get his card, and he's going to go to your headquarters as well. And he can do some fighting maybe in this arena while you're fighting in that arena. So the more X-Men you have on your team, remember you have up to 4, 3 can be battling in each area, and then plus 1 can be recovering or whatnot at the same time. So that's how it works when you're recruiting X-Men. Now other things you can do, you can try to heal your X-Men. Remember what I said, if my character has 3 hits, he's out of the game or he's out of the round, he has to remove himself from the battle zone and go to heal. You cannot heal if you're in the battle zone. You got to keep fighting until you get defeated, then you're out of the round or out of the game. You cannot fight again. So on your turn, if you were going to heal, you would roll as many dice as you have durability. So I would roll 3. Now, for any evil mutants I roll on healing my ability, they count as blanks. So let's say I had 3 hits and I was trying to get rid of them. Okay, I got 2 X-Men, and that would remove 2 of my hit points. And let's say I just had 1 more left. If I'd have gotten all 3 removed, I could have brought him back into the battle zone on the next turn. But since he still has 1 more hit on my next turn, I got to stay again, and I got to totally remove him, totally heal him up before I can throw Gambit back into the mix. Now, what if, like I told you, they were seriously injured, meaning they had 1, 2, 3, and he had 4, 5 hits on him. Okay, he's seriously injured. Okay, so I would roll my 3 things, and if I don't remove these 2, then I'm dead. I'm out of the game. Let's see what happens here. Okay, there's the 2 X-Men. Whew, I got it. So I would remove those. I'm still seriously injured here, but now I'm not going to die. This was an evil mutant. It doesn't do anything to me. It's a blank when I'm trying to heal. So that's how healing goes. So you can see where you want to keep recruiting X-Men, and everyone may be battling, like I said, if there's an X-Men out there, maybe they want Psylocke, and you got to get out there. First one to get their counter up there will claim Psylocke for their team. So there's a lot of that going on. You're building up your team. You're killing or defeating evil mutants, and you're moving around the track board here. And like I said, the first one to get to the end of this track board is the victor. All right, final thoughts. X-Men Alert. What do I think about the game? Well, as you see here, it comes with a exclusive limited edition X-Men comic book offer. I might be a little too late on this. All right, so what do I think about this little classic game from the early 90s? First off, I think the figures are just amazing. I love them. This is comic booky. This is before the movies. The cartoon series, I think, was going on at this time. So I don't know why they didn't look more like the comic book, but this is, the cartoon, but this is definitely a comic book era game. Now that being said, what I think about the gameplay? Well, as you see, the gameplay is fairly easy. I like the cards. I like the idea of battling, villains and then getting their victory points, and that's what moves you around the board. There is some strategy a little bit where, like I said, maybe you want to go 3 spaces instead of 6. If you go 3 spaces, you'll get one of those luck cards, or you'll get an extra X-Men, which is really big. Very hard to get X-Men in this game. So that would be nice. But at the same time, though, wouldn't it be just easier to go after the biggest guy and always take him down? Yeah, there could be other X-Men fighting him, and you could deliver like several blows and then die, and the next person right behind you kills the villain who you killed most of his health on. It almost seems a little unfair. The game isn't much. There's not much to do. It's very hard to get extra X-Men. Very hard to get X-Men on your team. The games we've played, we haven't landed on just the grant me an X-Men one. And a lot of times you won't always get the chance to recruit an X-Men. So that's a little hard. So once you play with one, that's all you're going to be playing with. You may get a second one or something like that. You can, rig the game and say, hey, everyone starts with 3 players or something, or 4 players or something like that. You could do that, I guess. I would say if you played it, you should randomize it, not just have everyone decide. There may be a 3 or 4-way fight for Wolverine if you do it that way. But they all have a little special power, which kind of helps them out. Another thing is those luck cards. You don't get many of those because you have to land on them, and it's very hard. In fact, some of the beginning squares are like the 2 square or the 1 square. Where are you going to find one that has a power of 1 or 2 in the deck? And I don't remember because I didn't check it all through, but I don't think you can. So some of those squares seem to be pointless. I don't know. So I wish the game was a little bit more. It looks good, but it's missing a lot. Should you get it? No, not at the price that everyone's selling it for. I got it for a good deal, of course, to check it out. And I mean, it's okay fun, but I don't think you should get the game because the prices people are asking for this is just astronomical and really, really not worth it. Anyway, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, game on. Where's my claws?